What's up, y'all? So currently 22 years old. I'm about to be 23 soon. But one thing I could say is I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke weed. I don't indulge in those things. Um, it's never sat well with me. You know, I've only I've never drinking alcohol by choice, but the one time I did consume alcohol was when it was put in my drink because family members and whatnot really wanted me to drink, and so they slipped it into my drink, and I didn't know, and I could tell like once I drank it that it was alcohol, but it was very disgusting. It had a lot of alcohol, and it was like 15%. Um, but you know, it's just, to me, alcohol is just, there's no health benefits to it. A lot of people cope and say otherwise, but you get nothing out of it. Um, it's very destructive too. I think I've seen what it's done to people. Growing up, I used to see certain family members and they would drink, and I would be like, yeah, this is exactly what I don't want to become. I don't want to be like this individual. As harsh as that might sound, but it's the truth. So I've always stayed away from it. Same with weed, smoking weed. It's another thing. I'm very skeptical of weed nowadays because it's just so like normalized. Same with alcohol. Alcohol is so normalized in society, which is very sad, but it is what it is. But with weed, I tried it one time and I didn't like it, but for some reason the next day I just kept craving it. I kept craving more. I kept wanting more, and I'm like, this is not normal. This is not natural. I believe that anything that you need a dependency on, it's not good for you. Same with like caffeine. Like, I'm not inherently against caffeine, but like I feel like if you need caffeine just to function properly, that it's a big no-no to me. And a lot of people in our society, they're very caffeinated. They smoke weed, they drink, and who knows what else people are on, because people take a lot of prescription drugs that they need. I don't take anything. I don't take any prescription drugs. I don't smoke any weed. I don't drink any alcohol. I've experimented with like psychedelics in the past. Now I don't do any trips like I used to. I microdose every now and then. But even then, when I've taken psychedelics, I've never had a dependency on it. I've never felt like, oh my God, I need more of this just to function. Every time I've taken them, I've always felt like very refreshed. It's like a mental reset. I've always felt refreshed, and it's always helped me. But like I've never had an addiction to where I'm like taking this stuff every day or every week, and you really can't, because like with psychedelics like mushrooms, you build a high tolerance to it, right? So yeah, psychedelics are just very different to me from like weed and alcohol. But another thing too is like weed, it's obviously legal now. It used to be illegal, but like this is what makes me very skeptical about weed too. There's a dispensary on like every street nowadays, pretty much everywhere. If you go into a town or a city, you're gonna find a dispensary on every corner, on every street corner. So I believe that they're putting something in the weed, and it has some like mind control effects, some MK Ultra effects, who knows, but I refer to it as like the military bud, because like nowadays I feel like people tweak out. I mean, a lot of people that I know who smoke weed, they would always tweak out and they would act really weird on it. So that's what made me think like, man, they must be putting something in that. But yeah, I've always stayed away from that stuff, man. If you're watching this, man, stay away from that stuff too. Just be pure, eat good, take care of yourself, get some sunlight, be around good people. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't need any alcohol. You don't need any weed. Even psychedelics, I don't think that you really need that stuff. Like nowadays, I don't really trip out anymore like I used to. I just stay away from that. I feel like I've gotten everything that I needed to from psychedelics. They were like a learning lesson for a period of my life, but like nowadays it's like I'm just over it.